What's up guys, CJ here and welcome back to another all-new trailer breakdown. This time a massive surprise as we've got the second trailer from Marvel and Netflix's The Punisher completely out of the blue. If the last one was the more action-packed teaser trailer, this one definitely gives us more of the plot, albeit without giving away too many spoilery details, but there are still some plot and character threads I think that we can extract from it. Our trailer opens with Frank Castle during his time in the Marines, and we see his first meeting with CIA agent Reynolds, played by Nurse Jackie's Paul Schultz, who tells the assembled troops that he's the only authority they'll ever need. While the camera's kind of fixed on Frank and the fact that he's maybe a little disgusted, maybe rejecting this a little bit by his reaction, if you look to his left, we see that Ben Barnes is sitting next to him. Barnes is playing Billy Russo, aka Jigsaw, who in the comics was an enforcer and assassin for the Maggia crime family. In the MCU, however, he's a friend of Castle's from their time in the Special Forces, and once he gets out, he starts and runs a private military corporation named Anvil. What Reynolds wants with Frank's unit exactly is unclear, although at the very least it looks like he was using them to take out targets for the CIA. As Micro notes later, the CIA basically turned Frank into a hitman. Whatever the case, it goes south as we see a bloodied Frank punch Reynolds in the face, suggesting somewhere, somehow, a mission went very wrong or crossed a line or both. Back in New York, we see what's supposed to be a friendly reunion as Frank meets up with another old military buddy, Curtis Hoyle. He's described as a friend of Castle, one of the few people that know he's alive, but much like Jigsaw, there might be a heel turn in store, as in the comics Hoyle actually turned bad as well. We also see what could be the first meeting of Micro and Frank, as the computer whiz calls him and tells him he has to show him something, pulling up a Homeland Security secure file and the torture video from the first trailer. In the breakdown of that first trailer, I assumed Frank was the one tied up and being tortured, but in this trailer we see that's not the case, as he's actually one of the balaclava-wearing men in the back, on the side of the torturers. Micro as a character is really interesting. He was at one point this huge ally for Frank in the comics, only to turn bad and actually end up dying by Frank's hand. In the trailer, he says the same thing that happened to Frank happened to him, seeming to hint that he lost his family too, so there's some common ground for the two to share as well as this mission that they seem to share. But a falling out between the two seems like a real possibility for this season, as Frank and Micro actually get in a fight, with Micro telling him you have nothing but a war inside you, kind of suggesting that Frank is going too far even for him. In this trailer, we also see more of Dyna Madani, a former war veteran herself who's on the hunt for Castle, but we learn that she's not after him directly, she just thinks he knows about her case. Speaking of the case, we briefly see a shot of Madani looking at her assembled intel, including the name Ahmad Zubair and a mention of an assassination program, which is probably what Reynolds was doing with Frank's unit. We also later see her pursuing Frank and getting in a car accident, only for him to stop and save her. And I don't want to read too much into this or play up to the trope that she's gonna be his love interest for this season, but I think that's a real possibility. We also see the two working together later on in the trailer. It seems like they get into a firefight. Either way, it seems like we have another flashback here as Reynolds tells someone Castle is the last witness that they need to clean up, intercut with shots of Frank's family's death, while Frank says that they killed his family to get to him. If this is the case, then there's a good chance they're rewriting some of Frank's past after the events of Daredevil Season 2, as I'm really not sure how I feel about that. I guess they could finesse it as Reynolds just using the blacksmith's planned firefight as cover, but it's one of those things that it's too big to be a coincidence, you know? We also get a little more Karen Page action in this trailer, seeing Frank tell her that he has to kill the men who were responsible, something she rightfully points out probably doesn't end neatly or anytime soon. We later see Frank trying to wake an unconscious Karen on the ground, something that maybe doesn't bode well for Miss Page. Karen is a character who in the MCU is a lot more wholesome than she is in the comics themselves, where she became a heroin addict and a part-time porn star to feed her drug addiction. And in the comics, she's killed by a bullseye, potentially that could be something changed in Marvel's Netflix verse. That would also set up some major Daredevil storylines for Season 3. Just something to think about. In one of the really interesting shots of the trailer, we see someone fire at two men in an apartment, shooting at them through the window. And we can't see the main man in this scene, but his build and hair seems to suggest that it might be Jigsaw. The other man is really interesting though. It's really brief, but it looks like it could be Curtis Hoyle, and if the two of them are working together, that could definitely indicate Hoyle does take a villainous turn in the show if Jigsaw is an antagonist like he is in the comics. But in what's sure to be a fan favorite moment, we get a great shot of the iconic Punisher battle van, first in Micro's hideout and then on the road, and I can only hope that we get to see that in action. That's gonna do it for this breakdown though. Let me know what you thought of the trailer and what you think of the release date, November 17th, 2017. Don't forget to smash that like if you like what you saw, subscribe for more great content every single day, and consider turning on your notifications to be alerted every time we upload a new video. For more content, check out our website at hybridnetworkyt.com, and if you love HN and want to take your support to the next level, consider backing us on Patreon as we continue striving to bring you the best content possible. Signing off, this is CJ, and I'll see you next time.